Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Welcome to another episode of $1 Trillion Tickers. For this episode, we will be talking about what's going on with energy stocks. Why energy? Because of what happened in Venezuela this weekend. $1 Trillion Ticker family, the world has changed this weekend. While the media talks about politics, we're going to talk about profits. The U.S. military went into Venezuela and they kidnapped / captured Maduro, and now he's in New York. And the 303 billion barrels of oil are now under U.S. American management. Aurelia and Atlas give the family a bird's eye view on the geopolitical earthquake before I get started on these XLE charts.
We are talking about a total reset of the global energy balance. By securing these reserves, Trump has essentially created a Western Hemisphere OPEC. The 2026 outlook for U.S. oil majors just went from steady to exponential. We're looking at the potential for $2 gas at the pump and record-breaking dividends for the $1 trillion ticker family.
Matt Rich's Atlas observes a staggering weight beneath this headline. While 303 billion barrels sounds like a win, it will take $100 billion in investment and over a decade to actually pump that oil at scale. Atlas warns the $1 trillion ticker family. International law and North Korean/Russian condemnations are already flying. This is a high-stakes occupation, not a simple drill and fill. Watch the $88 level on the XLE. If the market fears the cost of this war, that level will break fast.
All right. Thank you for that. All right, now let's get on these charts, y'all. So this is XLE. The XLE, this is the energy sector ETF. So I just want to show you what are the holdings in there. XOM, which is ExxonMobil, is 23%. Chevron is 17%. ConocoPhillips, 7%. Williams Company Incorporated, 4.5%. And SLB Limited, 4%. Everything else is less than 4%. There's only 24 holdings inside this sector ETF. So I just wanted to show y'all that. And yeah, let's get to the charting, y'all. Salute to everybody on YouTube Live and TikTok Live. All right, so when it comes to charting, this is what we like to do. We like to go on the line chart first. I mean, it makes it much easier to see. All right. And then we just look where did price have a big reaction. So right here, that's our most recent support level. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. Go ahead and round to the nearest 10 cent. It's going to be 43.80. And then right here, this is the most recent time the price came up, hit resistance, and rejected. So we'll go right there. Go ahead and roll that to the nearest 10 cent. And then we'll look for levels underneath there. So if it does end up breaking there, let's see what we have. Definitely have a level right here. So with this takeover, I'm definitely expecting these XLE ETF and also the individual companies that we talked about earlier, ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, which is COP, and SLB, and also Halliburton. Those are the big five that, based on my research, will be most affected by this invasion, if you want to call it that, into Venezuela. Or we can call it a takeover. Let's call it a takeover, because that's what the U.S. did. The U.S. went in there under Trump's orders and took over their oil reserves. Let's try to find some more levels to the upside. Let's see what we got. It's definitely a level right here. I think this is really a zone, y'all, because I got this level right here, 48.66, and then I got this one right here, 48.32, which also coincides with this. So I think I'm gonna just put a zone right there, y'all. But then we also got this right here. See, it's also close. So when it's very close like that, I just like to put a zone like this. Because it's like, it's so many sellers right here. So basically, price came up here and they sold it down. Then once it got here, sold it down. Once it came back up in here, sold it down. So it's a lot of sellers in this area, y'all. So that's why I put that like that. So I'm expecting the same thing. Once price comes back up to that level, I'm expecting price to sell it off. So we call that the supply level, y'all. Okay? So we got the current price, 45.65. We got some support down here, 43.80. We got another support at 42.60. And then to the upside, we have resistance at 46.20, 47, before we get to this very strong supply zone up here. Okay, now we can go to the candlesticks, see if we can find any trend lines that we can connect here. I think I do see a trend line possibility. Let's draw it and see what we see. Yes. Looks like we have multiple touches on this trend line, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and make that support. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, there we go. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for waiting, y'all. I'm good now. All right, so there we go. We got support. So based on this, once price came down here, it bounced, came back down, bounce, bounce, bounce. So next time it comes back to this trend line, I'm expecting the same thing, y'all. Let's see if we have any any resistance trend line that we can draw. Let's see. Yeah, we do. Because once price came up to these levels, it rejected. So we call that a daily resistance. This is daily support. This is daily resistance. So price came up here, rejected. Came back up, rejected. So next time it comes up here, it should reject. And that's what the candles is telling me, y'all. So that's what I see here. But I do expect a lot of institutional buyers to come in on Monday based on the news that happened with Venezuela. So I'm pretty sure, well, my idea is that we're going to break through here and possibly come up to this level right here, $47 on Monday. Okay, so that's what I have, y'all, for XLE. I have support at 4380. I have another support level at 4260. But really, I'm expecting upside based on the news. So my first resistance is 4620. The second one is at 47. And then we have our resistance trend line here. And then we have our daily supply zone. So that's what I have for XLE. Let's go to XLM. Let's delete all these. And let's see what we got. First thing we do is we go to the line chart, y'all. Go to the line chart. Okay. And then the last major bounce we had was right here. So go ahead and put a level right there. I gotta stretch this chart out because it's moving too much. Alright, there we go. Now it'll be easier to get that level with the magnet. There we go. Let's go ahead and round up. So this is ExxonMobil, y'all. This is ExxonMobil's chart. Yeah, it looks like we don't have much resistance until we get up here. And then here. And then all-time highs. So yeah. This definitely might be able to hit all-time highs tomorrow, y'all. There's not a lot of resistance right here at all. Looks like a clean move back to all-time highs. I only see these two levels of resistance. And then we had all-time highs, y'all. Let me make sure we had all-time highs. Yeah, we right there at all-time highs, y'all. So, go ahead and put all-time highs on here. There it is. Okay. Do we have any more support to the downside? Let's see. You got a major bounce right here. Yeah, because if I'll show you why I'm going to put a level right here. I'm putting this level right here based on this bounce, this, and this. If that makes sense, y'all. Alright. We can actually round up to 40. Alright, let's see what else. Do have another. And I'm going to show you why I'm putting this level right here, y'all. So I'm putting this level right here because this reaction here, this area here, this here, and this here, and this here. Does that make sense, y'all? So if it does end up coming back, these are our levels here. This is our major support right here. This is just chop. There's a lot of chop in here, so I don't want to put any more levels in here. It's a lot of choppiness. But yeah, that's what we have. That's what I have for ExxonMobil. Huge candle on Friday, y'all. It was up almost 2%. See, that means they probably already knew that was going to happen, because this got bought up almost 2%. So the buyers came in, they bought this up, and then they went over there and took over Venezuela. So everybody that bought on Friday, they probably already knew what was going to happen, because on Monday, this could very likely be up here at all-time highs. I think it's just going to break through these levels, because let's see how far we got. Yeah, we got less than 3% to all-time highs. So I definitely think ExxonMobil can hit all-time highs tomorrow. Let's see if we have any trend lines we can draw right quick. No, I don't like that one. I like this one a lot better. Okay, so that's our daily support trend line. Let's see if we have any. No, I don't really want to draw resistance trend line because I do have this, the all-time high, but we're still moving to the upside over here. So I don't have anything concrete that's going to give a big rejection. So I'm not going to draw the resistance trend line based on that. So if that makes sense, y'all, that's why I'm not drawing that. Okay, so that's what I have for ExxonMobil. All right, our next company is Chevron. Look at that. Ooh, Chevron up over 2.25% on Friday. They really knew, because Chevron is actually the only American oil company that is currently already on the ground in Venezuela. So they are going to be the primary benefactor when it comes to the U.S. taking over the oil supply in Venezuela. So let's see. We're actually a long ways away from all-time highs. But with this news, we can definitely get a lot closer. All right, so we got the all-time high right there. All right, let's go back to the daily. Let's go back to the line chart. Let's find some support and resistance, y'all. Major support way down here. Got some support right here. So we'll go right here. By the way, these instrumentals are brought to you by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. You can check out my playlist on YouTube Music. Check it out. You can check it out on my YouTube channel as well. Just go to playlists. I have a bunch of different playlists. Also have music with words. We had a big rejection here. As you can see, once price came up here, it did end up coming down all the way to here. So we definitely got to put a level right here, y'all. This is just charting, y'all. Where did price react? That's where price is likely to react next time. All right. It may react there. Let's see. Yeah, I think these are both going to be resistance, even though they're very close together. I think these are both going to be major resistance levels. So just like the other, I'm going to just call this a zone because I don't have an exact price point, but let's just call it a zone, y'all. So I'm expecting a lot of resistance here. So we're going to call this a supply zone, y'all. But once price gets back up here, it's going to be very difficult to break through this level here. But based on the news that I said earlier, it may be at that level on Monday. Let's see how much does it have to go up to get to that major resistance. Yeah, it's probably not going to do that in one day. Not at 6.8%, but it'll probably get back to this daily level here at 161.80 on Monday. How much was that? How much movement was that? 3%. Yeah, yeah. That's my prediction. Is Chevron is gonna hit 161.80 at least on Monday. I don't think it'll break this supply area though. Okay, so after that, let's put it to the downside anyway, just in case I'm wrong. Let's just check our levels to the downside. What might happen? You know, you never know which way you can predict, but it's better to have levels to the downside and the upside because you'll be ready if it's a sell-off or it's a buy-up. That way you can make money either way price goes. That is what professional traders do. They're able to make money to the upside or to the downside. Alright, so we got our downside levels there, we got our upside level here, we got our supply level here. Let's okay, we're definitely gonna put a level at the top of this supply. And then let me find another level above that one. So then we at least have 3 levels above current price. If that makes sense, y'all. Okay. So there we are. Then we go to the candlesticks. Alright, so let's see if we can find a trend line here. Alright, so that's my daily support. Now we should be able to find some resistance here. Definitely. Alright, let's find our daily resistance. Oh. That thing was moving fast, wasn't it? That's that magnet. That's that magnet was trying to hold it. It's good though. Alright. So there is our resistance level, y'all. Our resistance trend line. So that's what I have for Chevron. I have a trend line. Okay, so the current price as of the close on Friday was 155.90. I do have some a resistance trend line here, this red line. I do have a resistance level at 161.80, followed by a daily supply zone from 166.26 to 168.50. And then above that, I have another resistance level at 172.40. So this is basic technical analysis, y'all. Where the price previously go, that is where it will probably go again. So there are the levels to the upside and the downside. All right, next we have ConocoPhillips. Go ahead and delete all these old lines, and we're gonna draw some new ones, y'all. Let's see where we're at in the grand scheme of things. We got the all-time high up here. There's that. I just wanted to make it easier to put the all-time high up there. Okay. Excuse right, and then we can. This is definitely major support down here. Once it came down here, these are the buyers. This is the buyers areas that brought it up here. I would really call this a zone as well. The same way we had the seller zone, we call this a buyer zone. Price comes down here, I expect it to run up. Also down here as well, because once these buyers, they shot price all the way up here. So do have another zone down here. All right, and then let's see. Kind of go Phillips, y'all. Kind of go Phillips. Okay, you see this here, 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 here. That's why I put that line there, y'all. Okay, then let's check out resistance. You see, this is another zone because price came up here, sold off. Price came back up, sold off. Now, I don't want to put a line right here and right here because it's only a very small zone, but it is a zone. So I'm expecting next time it comes back up to this level, that it's going to sell off. Just let the chart point it out. Alright, so there's that. And then it's definitely low right there. Put our magnet back on. So I put this level here based on this, 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 and this. So that's why I put that level there, y'all. And then this right here, this was a huge sell-off. Sheesh, look at that. Once price got up here, it sold off from 106 all the way to 82. That is a monster sell-off, y'all. Hope you was in puts. If you were trading Conoco on that day. Sheesh. Okay, so we have some resistance here. Let's just put one more zone of resistance. Every time it comes up here, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. So that's why I'm gonna put this zone right here. So I am expecting, based on previous price action, that once price gets back up to this level, it's going to sell off. Okay, so we have it there. Oh, let's check if we have any trend lines. Do we have any trend lines, y'all? That is our support trend line. And then let's check out slide. We might have one. I don't know. Let's try it out and see. Only thing you can do is draw it on there and see if it works. This looks like a breakout. If we base it on this, that looks like a breakout, y'all. Look, price came up, rejected. Came back up, rejected. And now it broke. And now it's turning this into support. So this is actually perfect timing because all the money that's going to go into ConocoPhillips tomorrow should actually continue to push this to the upside. So this previous resistance has became support with this break, retest, and now to the upside. And we do got a little gap right there too. You draw this gap right quick, y'all. Here we are. Okay, so that's what I got, y'all. That's what I got for ConocoPhillips. Alright, how does that look, y'all? So the current price is $96.70. I do have some resistance here at $98.41 to $99. This little supply zone. 100 is normally a psychological level, so it should be some added resistance there. If it ends up breaking that, got resistance at 102.40 and then 106.10. Then if it goes to the downside for some reason, we do have this gap right here, and we do have this resistance turn support that it could also bounce off. If it ends up breaking that, we got this 91.40 support, followed by our trend line and demand zones down here. So that's what I got for ConocoPhillips, y'all. Let's go to SLB. Okay, let me zoom out right quick. Find an all-time high. Oh, all-time high was way back here in 2014. Goodness gracious. 2014. That is insane. If you are a investor and your company that you are invested in has not hit highs in over 10 years, it might be time to rethink that investment, y'all. Because that is horrible. Anyway, go back to the daily chart and let's find some levels, y'all. Let's find some levels. I do have this as a little zone here. This bounce came back, get some more buyers. So we'll call that a demand zone. Alright. Oh, we do got some resistance right here. I think it's gonna break through that though. It's so close. Definitely gonna have a lot of institutional buyers coming in tomorrow. let's try to find some more levels here. Okay. So I'll put this here based on reaction right here, and right here. Okay. This whole zone. So we got another zone right here. So see, once price came up here, hit this quick double top, sold off. Came back up here, sold off, and then dropped dramatically. So I'm gonna put a zone right there, y'all. So that means once price gets back here, I'm expecting it to sell off again. Because that's what it did last time. And that's basically what technical analysis is. What happened when price got to that level last time? What's the probability of that happening again? Okay. There we are, round down. Okay, so that's what I got to the upside. Let's see, to the downside. If it ends up breaking this demand level. Got this. Yep. That's it. I'll call that a demand zone as well. Daily demand. So if it ends up breaking that demand zone, then it can come down here and get some more buyers, y'all. That's what I see. That's what I see on SLB Limited. Okay, so we can put our lines on there. If it ends up coming to the downside for some reason. Let it round up. Here we are. Okay, so there we are, y'all. So the current price is $40.20. To the downside, I have support at $38.60. More support at $37.60. And then if it breaks that, $35.20. And then to the upside, it's gonna run right into resistance at $40.30, but most likely in the pre-market, it's going to be over that. So I think the first resistance is going to be this $41, followed by this daily supply zone here at $42.19 to $42.63, and then another level here at $43.70, y'all. So that's it. Let me see if we can draw some trend lines here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty strong, y'all. Looks like a strong trend line right there. It's our daily support. So if we had charted this last week, we could have predicted that Once price got back down to this trend line and this daily demand zone from here, then we could have predicted that price will probably bounce right there. So that's why you got a chart on the weekends when price is not moving, and we could have seen that for a high probability setup. Do we have a zone right there? This is tough. Possibly. But let's see. Let's just draw it and see. Possibly. If we start up here, and then we go down here. The thing about this is, I think it's definitely going to open up above here, which is fine. So it can actually turn into support at that point. So we'll see what happens on Monday, y'all. We'll see. So that's my levels, y'all. And we'll do one more, because these were the top 5 companies that we expected to be affected by what's going on in Venezuela right now. All right. Yes. They haven't had an all-time high since 2014 as well. Better be paying a nice dividend to the shareholders for this dramatic. This is, yeah, you pissed. If you invested in this company, you are pissed off. Man, they've been missing earnings too. Missed earnings November 24. Missed earnings April 25. Missed earnings July 25. I can found some support down here though. But still, man, sheesh. They better be paying a nice dividend because the shareholders is pissed off. Alright. Check out this daily level right here, y'all. And right here. Alright. And that's to the downside. Could probably do one more to the downside. Slow zone right here. There's a lot of buyers right there. Prices are coming back down here. I'm expecting it not to break that level. If it does, ooh. Alright, let's see what we got to the upside. Where's some resistance? Yeah, it's some resistance right here. Alright, that's what the charts say. That's what the charts say. But I think it's definitely going to break through that in the pre-market. Probably even the overnight market, matter of fact. Alright. There we are. Okay, that's good. So we got 3 levels to the upside, 3 levels to the downside. See if we got any trend lines, y'all. Oh, look at that gap right there, too. Woo! Look at that gap, y'all. Okay. We may have a trend line possibility. Let's draw it and see if it works. That's the only thing you can do is draw it and see if it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. It's like it's been riding this trend line right here. Came up, started these buyers right here. Price came up, bounce, came up, bounce. Rode the trend line, bounce. So that's what we got. Let's see if we can find one to the downside. Do we have any resistance? Trend lines. I think it may be over this one already. But the only thing we can do is draw it and see, y'all. Oh no, it's not over. It's not over. So that's what we got, y'all. We got some resistance coming on Halliburton. Got some resistance, y'all. Current price $29.60. Got some resistance right above, but I think it'll be over. I think it'll be over that in the pre-market and also the overnight market. So next resistance I see really is 31.10 followed by 32. But we do have this resistance trend line that's also right in that same area. So if it touches, you may want to get some puts in there. All right. So that's it, y'all. I just wanted to cover the top 5 stocks that will be affected by the Venezuela invasion and takeover by the United States. And also the ETF, XLE. So you have your prices, you have your zones, and you can put those on your chart. Let me know, was I correct in my supporting resistance levels? Was I correct in my supply zones? By the way, I do have these beginner flashcards for y'all for free. I'm going to go ahead and put these into the chat here in YouTube land. All right. They are in the chat, y'all. So basically, I created these cards to give beginner investors some basics to find out what's going on. What is the stock market? That's how we starting it out, y'all. What is the stock market? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you an example. What is a stock? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and then it'll give you an example. Then you could go to Q2. Q&A number 2. What is a brokerage account? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you some examples. So each of these Q&As have 10 questions each. So how much money do you need to start investing? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you the example. You can also go down here to these ABCs of investing. So each of these has 5 questions, and then the full master deck has 26 cards. Each letter of the ABCs has 1 card associated with it. A for asset. Hit flip, it'll give you the definition, and it'll give you an example, y'all. Go to B, broker. Hit flip. It'll give you the definition, and it'll give you some examples. Another thing I like to share with the people is Google Learn About. Let me actually put my music back on since I'm still talking. And there we go. AI Learn About. So if you want to learn how to chart, like what I was showing you here, technical analysis, this is Google Learn About. This is a free AI tool provided by Google that will help you learn any and everything. Since this episode was about charting, I'm going to write charting for technical analysis. And you'll see what you get. Charting for technical analysis. Charting and technical analysis involves using charts to visualize historical price data of financial assets. This process is fundamental to technical analysis, which aims to forecast future price movements by identifying patterns, trends, and indicators on the charts. Technical analysis is based on the idea that market psychology often repeats history and that price follows trends. By examining charts, technical analysts attempt to identify areas of support, price levels where buying interest is strong enough to stop a decline, and resistance, price levels where selling interest is strong enough to stop a rise. And that's what we were doing on the chart. So as you can see, I started with the line chart because that's the easiest way, especially when you're new. Just start with the line chart, y'all. It's way easier. And then they have bar charts, and then we have the candlestick charts. So I started with the line charts, and then I went to the candlestick charts. So you can click on any of these, and then it'll give you a deeper breakdown. You see, this is an interactive list. What are the common types of charts? And then it'll tell you more. The line chart is the most fundamental type of chart used in technical analysis. It presents an asset's price history as a single continuous line, typically connecting the closing prices over a specific period of time. Okay? And then it gives you these examples here. And then it gets another interactive portion of it. Identifying long-term trends, comparing multiple assets, reducing the noise. So you can click on any of these because these are interactive. And just like it did before, it will give you a definition, y'all. So also, even before I clicked it, it shows right here a question. Stop and think. Consider how visualizing price data can help traders make decisions. Then ask you this question. Why might a trader prefer a candlestick chart over a line chart when trying to identify short-term trading opportunities? So you can think about what your answer is, and then you can hit tap to reveal, and then it'll give you the answer. A candlestick chart provides more detailed information about price action within a specific period, including the opening price, the highest price of that candle, the lowest price of that candle, and the closing price of that candle, as well as a visual representation of buying and selling pressure. This detail is crucial for identifying short-term patterns and potential turning points that a simple line chart might miss. So you should use both. You start with the line chart to get the overall, and then when it's time to get more detail, you go into candlesticks. And that's what I did. So if you find that this information that they gave you is too difficult, then you can hit simplify. If you thought it was too easy, you can hit go deeper. If you want more images, you click on images. And then after that, tell me about common chart patterns. What are technical indicators, and how are charts used in other analysis methods? So you can click on any of these and get more information, y'all. You want to learn about some common chart patterns? Building upon our understanding of charts, let's delve into some common chart patterns, y'all. These recurring formations on price charts that technical analysis interpret as potential indicators of future price movements. So you have continuation patterns and you have reversal patterns. Continuation patterns suggest that the existing trend is likely to continue after a period of consolidation. And a reversal pattern suggests that the existing trend is likely to change direction. Okay? And then they even give you YouTube videos sometimes, y'all. So if you're like, man, I still don't understand, I need a YouTube video, you could click on this YouTube video and it'll give you more information. And then look, beneath that, we have more interactive items that we can click on. You want to learn about the head and shoulders pattern, you want to learn about a double top or a double bottom, or triangles, flags, and pennants, you can learn about any of these. And then after you click on all these, you can think about the different types of chart patterns, and then you can get a question, and then you can tap to reveal the answer. It tells you about common misconceptions. Like this website is so dope. This website is so dope. It's definitely very useful, and you should definitely use it. And it's free, y'all. I know you're like, man, it's free. It's probably not very useful. It's probably not worth anything, but this is a, man, this resource is so valuable, y'all. This resource. And look, explore more related content. And you got all these items you can click on and learn about. Who else is giving you this for free, y'all? Google Learn About and me. I'm the one telling you about it. Matt Rich's 510 AI Music on TikTok and YouTube. Alright, that's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you learned something. And go ahead and make some money off those energy stocks or energy ETF to be safer. That's it. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings,